everyone. You're obviously confused and aroused.
Then where are we now?
Do you have idiots on your planet?
It's me, Zoidberg, remember from high school?
Hello, you're listening to the Slurmcast, a podcast for no reason. Today we will be discussing Futurama Season 3, Episode 3, A Tale of Two Santas, with your hosts, Tommy Roulette,
How's it going?
Pete Woodward,
I just burnt the shit out of my mouth.
and I Thought I Was Corn. Does that work?
No.
Is it with a forward K or
We're
a
certainly in
backwards K?
corn now.
Oh, dear. You want to introduce our guest?
Joining us today is our special guest, Cassie Bishop,
Hi.
author, musician, and my ex.
That's right.
Thanks for joining us. I'm really sorry that you had to do this episode. I forgot. Like, I knew what it was about, basically, and I started watching it, and I kept thinking about what you would be thinking about you were watching it, and I'm like, you must be hating this. Like, it picks up at the end. Like, it's not the worst, but, man, you almost were supposed to have the Irish one with
Right.
the Clover, and I was like, oh, she'll like that. That's a really good episode, and I was just,
And that was my second episode I ever watched. of
I know, and then
Futurama.
I'm like, oh, great. So somebody that's seen, like, one episode of Futurama, you know,
It's depressing.
I'm giving you a pass. You are allowed to say whatever. Like, don't worry
Wait,
about.
you think this episode is depressing?
well, sad.
I just didn't think it was that great of an episode.
It's not.
It's not a good episode.
I started
So-
daydreaming a little bit in the middle, I have to confess. But I tried to focus. I watched it twice. I mean, in the middle part, I daydreamed at the same section. So there's like one area that I don't.
I
quite-
also daydreamed during it.
Was it the Hypnotoad part?
I
You
think
guys wanna
Sean
do a
Jaundice has the record for the number of consecutive times watching, because he said he had to watch it like 6 times when his episode was on, because he kept falling asleep watching
Which
it.
episode was that about?
I don't know, but apparently people really liked hearing us talk with him about it.
It was the Richard Nixon episode
Oh, was it the one where he goes berserk?
with Jack Johnson and John Jackson.
So you're allowed to
Perfect.
say whatever bad thing. Don't worry about. Oh, you guys love this show so much and whatever. Like, it's not a good episode. This is the only other episode you've seen. So yeah, feel free to, like, don't hold back and be like.
Well, I'm
you
just
know,
worried I won't be able to give good detail because
There
that-
aren't
it
a
was
lot.
hard
You
to-
know what? Usually each episode, like, we can't write down jokes fast enough when we're taking notes or just stuff that we liked or stuff we noticed. But you know, we'll figure it out as we go.
Well, I have a quick question. Is Bender always a dick? Like, is he supposed to be, like, kind of a dickish robot, or is he, like, a jolly robot? Like, he was kind of a dick in that episode.
He's kind of a dick all the time, but that's
Okay.
why a lot of people like him.
See, I just wasn't sure of his robot personality type yet, so.
You know, it's we all have mixed feelings about Bender.
Mhm.
Tom and Horgy don't like him at all, pretty much. I just wish that he was consistent in his obeyance of the rules of physics, or declared a magical being. Either way, it's fine with me.
There were a lot of good lines in this show, at least.
Yeah,
like-
there was good jokes. We had, I think, on the Jumbotron, a repeat appearance of everybody's favorite racist cartoon, Bosco.
it was.
I thought it was Mickey Mouse.
No, it was Boxcar Blues. That was Bosco up on there screaming.
Just really going to town. Like,
Yes.
"Ah!"
Yeah. screaming.
The plot of that cartoon.
He's the original gay Disney character.
Was that just
No.
was
That's-
that a smoke
That's
screen?
like a double. He's like blackface and gay. Is that what you're getting at?
so like
He was
Milo
the-
Yiannopoulos.
Wait, which one was Bosco?
He was on the Jumbotron at the beginning when the ship
There's a
crashes
part during
into
the
big
credits, the
TV.
opening credits, where
They don't
show
like to talk
a
about
cartoon
it,
for
and
like
I always
half a
bring it
second.
up. So this is one of the things about this episode was even those bits that were good, I feel like a lot of them were completely unconnected to the main story. It was just kind of non sequitur stuff that they threw in.
Like Walter Cronkite telling people to say goodbye to their pets
Yeah.
during Xmas because you can't save the pets.
Yeah, it just felt like, you know, I looked the head writer for this episode. Actually, you know what? IMDb said it was this one guy, and then the Futurama.
It's
the
Bill
Infosphere.
Odenkirk.
That's the
Was it?
Infosphere said
That's
Bill
who wrote
Odenkirk.
this episode. Yeah, he's also on the commentary.
But on a
for
show
it.
like this, where they have a group of staff writers in a room all the time,
So
you know,
he
they
broke the
give,
story
Yeah,
and gets
exactly.
the
It doesn't mean
credit.
that he might have had almost nothing to do with it, and maybe it was a bunch of crappy writers that week that
during
got away with a
the
bunch of bad jokes or whatever.
commentary on the DVD, he talks about the Mr. Show skit Donnie. What would with
Little wait. No, Ronnie Dobbs.
yeah Ronnie Dobbs. Yeah, that's it. And then he
Run,
talked
Ronnie,
about
run.
getting nominated for an Emmy for writing a musical for
Oh,
that.
What's oh God? What's the? Oh, it's y'all are brutalizing me.
That's right.
The Ronnie Dobbs musical. It's actually really fun. Did you ever see Run Ronnie Run?
I think
Yes.
so.
No,
Nope.
it is one of those cinematic debacles where like I guess they got the financing to make the movie.
I think I watched it with Tom.
Maybe.
Is that where Bob Odenkirk sings a song about being a camera?
Yes.
Yeah, all right.
So the movie that actually got released, like they've completely disavowed because they made it and then the studio or the whatever, the production company basically took the rights away from them and then totally re-edited it and they're like, this is garbage and we don't like it, and then it just got rushed out to DVD. I think I might have it in here somewhere. And it's entertaining enough, but it's really not up to stuff of like good Mr.
No,
Show.
no.
But yeah, boy, where's Ronnie Dobbs now when you need him? He could be a hero for the American people.
So,
Yeah.
so is that how the episode opens up? The news thing
With Walter Cronkite and Morbo and Linda.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember Walter Cronkite being on TV?
I
Yes.
don't.
I just more remember him from old footage. I don't really.
Like my grandparents used to watch him religiously every night, and if we were ever over there, like we'd be like, "Can we just put on some cartoons or something?"
He's
Like,
the-
I'd like to see some Bosco. They'd be like, "No, Walter Cronkite's on."
He's the main file footage for the JFK assassination, right? Was that him?
and the moonwalk. I mean, he was
Okay,
the
all right.
fucking guy
Yeah.
for probably 35 years.
My
Like,
grandma loved him.
yeah. He was a journalist you can trust. I think maybe Dan Rather is the closest person we have to that sort of gravitas now.
Yeah, definitely not Brian Williams anymore. I thought he was
No.
going to be the next.
After I saw what they
Dan
did to
Rather.
his daughter on that episode of Girls, I couldn't stomach it anymore.
I'm only on season 3 of Girls.
You're
just
watching that?
Yeah,
I haven't seen
I started
it yet.
watching it before we moved back.
It's
It was
funny,
free
I
on
don't know.
Prime. Yeah, you couldn't get into it. You
Well, no,
said
I
you just
think
didn't
I
like it.
started watching one episode and I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the writer, main actress lady. I don't know.
You can
Lena
say
Dunham?
you can say her
Yes.
Dunham?
name.
I
Lena-
was gonna pronounce it wrong.
Tom
Lena
did.
Dunham.
Thank you.
Lena Dunham.
Lena
Lena-
Dunham.
Although
Lenham-
Mark
Liam-
Maron says Lena, and I don't know if that's just because he says some people's names wrong.
Who says this?
Mark Maron, when he has her on, he says Lena. I hear people say Lena. I have mixed feelings about her, as I think many other people do.
I don't. I like her. She's a
You know what?
personal hero.
I liked it too until about the end of the third season, and then I just was like,
That's where I'm at. I
"Fuck
finished the third
this."
season, and I have to pay for more seasons, so I'm waiting till it's free.
Isn't it just about girls behaving terribly and like fucking up their lives, pretty much?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not necessarily 100%. I think it's
Rilo
about
Ken's on that show, right?
Kylo Ren.
I know what I'm talking about.
I believe
know.
you, Tom.
His real name
I mean, I thought you could
is
have been,
Rilo
like,
Ken. And
Adam,
I
Rilo,
thought-
Kylie.
I think
Drive.
that's what I was trying to like. Has Jenny Lewis actually been on that show? Because that's entirely possible too. It's hard to say, man. I consume seemingly not enough media and clearly too much, and it all turns to mush in my rapidly aging brain. I liked that the Polar Bear Club was a suicide pact.
That
I
was-
could get behind that.
That was one of those when they jump in the river of what was it?
Probably just polluted acid.
No, they said it. It was.
We'll have one of those in a few years. Don't worry.
We used
How-
to. It was just.
how are we going to pretend that this is a good episode for
I
everyone to
don't know.
listen to?
Do you guys want to talk about girls more, or I don't know, who was Brian Williams' daughter?
I
Is
just
she one of the actresses?
yeah, and then this hippie guy did this thing on camera, and that's you don't see that on your nightly news.
The Neptunians holding hands was
You're jumping
I
Kinda
felt
so.
so
cute.
bad for them.
Well, I'm
Oh, I
jumping
knew
to a
you were the
place
whole
where
time.
No,
it's
no,
like,
there was because there was good stuff at the Planet Express,
Well,
and there's
okay, first
also
of all,
there's also lines like the murderous brute, better known as Santa Claus.
Wait,
that's
do
a
they
good
have
Cronkite.
to hold hands? Like, what happens if they let go of the hands?
I think they were couples. I think they were trying to, because if you look
we're
at
skipping
them,
right to the Neptunians.
there's no,
man,
because
I'm
we
sorry.
We cannot do
it
that.
happened
This
in
will be a
front of- let me
30-minute
just-
episode.
Let me just get this out real quick. They're all gay. It's they have, some of them have skirts and some of them have pants, and all the pants are holding hands and all the skirts are holding hands.
Yes.
I think that was their
Yeah.
Good for
they were
them.
doing that. Yeah, pretty
Um,
progressive for 2001.
And they stick with each other.
At the beginning of that episode, one OK Fry line,
This
the
wood
Hermes-
show is boring.
Yeah, boards
Yeah.
up the TV and
That warranted a Fry is so dumb, but Hermes was on top of his shit, and I appreciate that.
yeah. Let me ring the morning radio Fry is so dumb bell. One of Pete's Fry is so dumbs.
I should have taken notes. You guys know the super intricate details.
Only
this
because he took
episode.
notes. I forgot what this episode was about. until
Yeah,
about
this
15 minutes
well,
ago.
This one you would have been like, what should I write down? It sucks. Like,
Yeah.
Well, there's one part that I laughed at. Actually, like LOL.
but you
out
forgot to
loud.
write it down.
I did, and I'm like, I have to remember to tell them that.
We might get to it.
You might. It's true.
You probably not at any point.
We're
while
only
It was later in the
discussing right now.
episode.
This episode of the podcast is only going to be the first 5 minutes of the show, and then the next guest. So I don't know if it's not in the first 5 minutes, you won't get to.
Damn it.
We take it 5 minutes at a time.
So, do you think the professor put the bulletproof shutters on the Planet Express after the previous run-in with Santa Claus? Like, was
He already
that the
had him.
impetus for that?
They had him on the first episode.
Did they?
Yeah.
They all
When he was
know
explaining
that.
it to-
Yeah, Xmas is not a safe
No,
time.
I know
for
you don't fuck around with
people.
Xmas. I'm just wondering. I don't remember the bulletproof shutters from the last Santa.
Cassie, this
episode.
is Santa's
I remember
second
this part.
appearance.
Oh, sorry.
On the
He was
um,
previously played by John Goodman, and then we got some low-rent fucking imitation on this episode.
He gets
John
in.
DiMaggio.
So it was still the robot, but played by John Goodman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
because remember,
What happened to Good Santa?
This is
No,
1,000 years in
Well,
the
I don't
future.
know who's listening
No,
to this, but I hate
also,
to do this right here
If
and
you
right
have,
now.
First of all,
yeah, if you
Santa's
have
not
children or
real.
something, or
Shut up.
No, so in the episode
it
where they
back.
introduce him, sometime like a couple hundred years ago or whatever it is, they built Santa Bot and
But I thought
set
Santa was
him up,
supposed to
and
live
then
forever.
so he,
And then if Santa dies, the new Santa
yeah,
is
he
reborn.
does. The robot Santa lives forever, but his
Like Tim the
programming
Toolman
went
Taylor.
haywire, and he
he's not the
killed everyone.
Santa Claus that you would think of. He is the robot Santa that
It's
is
just
programmed
sad.
to judge people naughty or nice,
and everybody's naughty.
and
which
everyone is naughty because of his logical.
Well, I think really, if the real Santa, who's not a real thing, were to judge people, most people would fall down on the naughty side for one reason or another.
this is not.
Well, it just
this
depends
is
on
not
like
Santa
it's
Claus that
subjective
you
because
know.
like what is naughty? Like where's that level that cuts it
Well,
off?
apparently,
Not paying
beating
loan
up
sharks.
beating up a shopkeeper is naughty.
It is.
but-
Not
Scruffy
paying a-
scratching his nose.
He didn't pay them.
Yep.
He didn't pay
I
the guy.
saw that.
And one of the robots was beating him with a dead cat.
Yeah. It
Was beating who with the dead cat?
The shopkeeper.
Oh.
Not paying off your organized crime representatives was also not. I mean, you really can't win. The point is, like,
That reminded. Sorry, go ahead.
you could draw that line in any old place. You know. Did you pick up your room this week, Cassie?
Actually, I did today. So,
Okay, but if
know,
you
nice list.
but okay, but if we asked you this yesterday and said, "Did you pick up your room?" Naughty, and you're dead. It's all fucking luck of the draw.
it's just not fair.
You
Well,
did not
yeah.
take notes for this podcast. Naughty.
Yep.
I took mental notes.
But can you recall them?
Well, we'll find out.
Exactly. That's the challenge. That's why we write all this shit down, because for various reasons our recall is compromised.
I'm getting scolded.
I'm looking down at that Candyland there. Do you guys want to play Candyland instead of talking about this episode?
No, Beck, Pete, the last episode with
I like the licorice guy. He's my
Santa,
favorite.
Yeah.
Queen
he got
Frosty.
into the fireplace
Yeah.
part or
no,
whatever.
he had,
so they
he
had
had,
that.
no, they had that last time too.
So
they had
obviously they
no.
had bulletproof
No,
because
but
they would have
had,
gotten.
They had the big gear to cover up the fireplace, like the vault door. I was wondering about the whole like
Yes.
shutter thing that went over. I don't
They had
remember
to-
that at all.
They probably didn't show it, but they had to have had it if the only way that Santa would have come in was the fireplace. Santa Claus.
It might have just been
It's the robot Santa Claus.
It might have just been the quickest way for him to get inside. It's also his traditional way to get in that he's programmed for. Another thing that we didn't mention is the Netflix order of this episode is the most fucked up of the entire series so far.
So let me explain this since I understand it the least. Oh yeah, that's why I should explain it so I can fucking mumble through it or whatever and trip over it. So for those of you listening, you might be getting this episode and going, "What the fuck?" We're going in the production, or we've mentioned this before, but most of them, some like here and there, are like one-off. The biggest difference on Netflix up until now has been that where the season cuts off is different, but it's been the same order except for I think once so far. It's been this one. I got really worried because I went to watch it yesterday and I looked and it wasn't anywhere in sight, and I'm like, "Oh my God, I gave Cassie the wrong episode." Like it was right after I texted you, or we would maybe a couple hours after, whatever, that you watched it and whatever, and I like looked in the next season, and then I opened up the because then IMDb, I forget which one they go in order of, but the Infosphere goes, it's the production order, right, Tom?
That's
is that how you would say it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Production order, not broadcast
And
order.
this aired on December 23rd, correct?
Something like that.
So they obviously moved it up.
December
like they
23rd.
had their Christmas episode, and like, we're gonna air this here, and it's what, like 7 out of the.
Oh, it's like way
removed
off.
from-
I mean, it's like season 4, episode 2 in Netflix.
Exactly. That's what it is. Also, it was originally supposed to be season like air around Christmas the year before 2000.
Season 2.
Yeah.
You know,
This one.
The irony
This
being
Yeah.
that even with that fucked up order, when we do Luck of the Friarish, it's going to be right around the same time as
For
St.
us,
Patrick's
not
Day.
for when it comes out.
Yeah, but that, like our friend Cody in Mississippi, we're sending these back into the past from the future.
Huh?
Yeah, don't worry about it. If you didn't follow that, Cody knows, right, Cody? I was trying to think about the professor's planet delivery business model. So why do you think he accepted the job to take the letters to Santa, especially on Christmas Eve? Do you think did he mess up?
I didn't realize it was a job because the way, for someone who hasn't watched the show regularly, it looked like they had to go when he told them like, you have to go deliver this. They're like, oh shit, we have to go.
He's their boss.
Okay.
He's asking why the boss accepted.
Why the boss
Why
accepted
he would
it.
have them do that job. Bad writing.
Well,
You think?
maybe he just has a little like, does he secretly hate one of them?
Yeah, he kind of hates
He
them all,
doesn't
and he's
secretly
crazy.
hate
So
any of
like,
them.
yeah, actually, okay, then maybe it's not that bad of writing because he is.
I mean, he's threatened to
Yeah,
and,
take that
and
back. It's
replace
not bad
them
writing.
several
That's very
times.
much in the character.
He made that one girl fall off the ladder.
Which one girl? Amy?
She was working on like boarding up the windows, and he put that bulletproof thing lever on. And
Oh
then
yeah,
she, like,
yeah,
fell off the
yeah.
ladder.
That's Amy. But
Yeah,
she's real
Amy.
clumsy to begin with. Like that's
Wow.
part of her character too. So I mean, that one could cut either
I
way.
have a lot in common with her.
Yeah, that's probably not.
Yeah, how
untrue.
many times have you fallen and hurt yourself this
Are
week?
you from Mars?
I think I
though?
sprained my toe yesterday. So
Are you
maybe
from
room?
I like
Or was
Mars.
that
I'm a
today?
big. Wait, what?
Did you sprain your toe cleaning your room, or were you cleaning your room today?
No, I was at dance class and I sprained my toe yesterday.
Isn't dancing supposed to make you more graceful?
One would think.
And you've been going to dance class for like a long time too.
Did
I
someone
have.
step on it?
No,
You
Oh.
might want to.
I was like doing a spin and then my toe went
refund or a
crunch.
settlement or something. Like if it hasn't helped, you could just be like, "This is some bullshit."
No, because I've never broken a bone except for like I cracked a rib once from coughing. So if I didn't take dance classes, I could be, broken bones in the hospital. It saves me. It's positive.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure I follow that.
No, I
logic.
get it.
Yeah.
Like she falls a lot, but she has,
She's
I
very,
can
very
fall. I'm really
elastic
good
bones.
at falling.
yeah.
Oh,
I can fall
okay.
to not actually really hurt
So
myself.
where like I'd fall,
I fall gracefully.
6'3",
I
all
thought you
elbows
broke
and
your
knees, just
toe getting a pizza.
yeah.
Yeah, your toe injury is more embarrassing than mine.
Yeah,
Or more cooler,
no,
maybe. It's more
heroic.
cooler.
I was getting pizza.
You were,
I was
True.
excited
you were paying
about
someone
pizza.
to let you dance.
Wait, what?
You were paying
true.
someone to let you dance.
This is true.
Yeah. I didn't know you were taking dance again.
I just started up again.
What kind?
Modern,
Modern.
still. Yep.
Oh,
Where?
look at that.
Mm. Cool.
Where? For,
Oh, where?
Yeah.
Through my teacher Hope at the Slovenian Center. It's
You
over.
mean your
on-
old teacher from school or
No, she's a different.
college?
No, she didn't teach college, but she's always been like a teacher.
She's not one of
mine.
her old teachers. She's just an old teacher.
No, she's not. She's not old. If she's Hope, if
Wait,
you're
but if
listening,
she's not a real teacher from,
She-
is she a fake teacher?
she's a real teacher. She wasn't my college dance teacher.
Okay,
She's
that's
a
what I was
different
asking.
dance
And
teacher,
all right.
and she's real.
Did I ever meet her?
I don't think so.
Hmm.
Maybe.
Let's
Hmm.
think about this for a while.
Yeah, I'm still like. Have you seen her credentials, or
Have I-
did she just say I'm a dance teacher?
She's
We
been,
hope she is.
She's
I
been
know.
very active in the Cleveland dance scene for many of years.
Like down at the chamber.
No, not that was me. No,
It's,
she's legit.
I don't know. I've seen some of it. And it's real butt nutters.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I was going there too. That was a good line, just because it's really sort of left field from Fry, but like, boy, these letters are really butt nutters.
Is that what he said?
Yeah. Which
I wrote down Nutty Buddies.
I mean, it's a. I really feel like that should get more in the vernacular. Like, it's just such a good
Is
phrase.
that like a actual? Have you ever heard that phrase before?
No.
Okay, because like I didn't know if it was something like Fuddruckers or something, or like like
Yeah.
or
I mean, I've heard of Nutty Buddies and Nutter Butters, but butt nutters.
butt
It's
nutters.
like
That's a real
it almost
butt
sounds
nutter.
dirtier because it's trying to be clean. You know what I mean? And they still have the word butt in it.
It sounds
Mhm.
even dirtier now when you actually like dissect what that
Oh, yeah.
says.
Most
I'm just
thi-
picturing
most
the
things
cookies.
do.
Butt nutter.
I still picture the cookies. I
Well,
don't-
which
doesn't
ones? Because
sound-
there's
the ones shaped like peanuts.
those are Nutter Butters.
Nutter Butters.
Yeah, nutter butters.
But
Those were
then Nutty
good.
Buddies are the chocolate wafer peanut
those were
butter
good
ones.
Little
too.
Debbie.
yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, Little Debbie.
With a wrapper?
Mhm.
Awesome.
Yeah,
She's
they're
got her
great.
finger in a lot
I
of
used
pies.
to take them and separate them, lick the peanut butter off, and then eat the wafer.
Oh, those are the Kit Kat method
Mm-hmm.
that sociopaths use?
Yeah.
I would eat Kit Kats. Like I'd bite straight down the middle of the Kit Kat.
Of the you're one of those. You do that
Yes.
too sometimes, don't you?
You can't eat like less than 2 wafers of Kit Kats. You have
Oh
to-
No,
no,
you
most
can't. It
people eat them
tastes
one
That's
at a
why
time,
the Big
normal
Cat
people.
is the best candy bar for a Kit Kat. Is just all.
I
Kit
eat the
Kat.
chocolate first, and then I start taking it apart.
I just
only
think
do
it
that
tastes
with
better if you bite into it and you get like 4 Kit Kats in one bite instead of one. You know, it's more candy.
Wait, so
that is a
I'm,
Kit
hang
Kat.
on, I'm confused. So when you eat a Kit Kat, Cassie,
well, I don't
that's-
eat them anymore. But
can
you
we,
open,
could we- Kit Kat Cassie, well, you would just like
you unwrap the Kit Kat.
you unwrap the Kit Kat and you take a bite like perpendicular
right in
to
the
your
middle
teeth. You just
between
snap
yes.
it off like a candy
Well, no, I
bar.
make sure it's all I'm biting right in the center, so I get all 4 all 4 bars in my mouth in one bite.
Okay, but you're not doing the dissection in the archaeological sense.
No, I'm just
so
biting
you just eat it like a normal person.
Well, no, because normal people break it off into those little sticks, but it doesn't taste as good. See?
No, I get that. You could still break it off into the sticks and then eat the stick like a normal person
But you shouldn't.
and delay the gratification
Why would you
Whereas-
delay a gratification of a candy bar?
because it only lasts so long. And
But-
we need to take what pleasure we can get in this lifetime.
That's why you can go to like a gas station, get like 2 king size for
Kats aren't
$2.22.
free. They're not free.
They're not
At
free.
some point, the pleasure runs out. So maybe making it last a little bit longer will make this short, hellish span of a life seem
get the
a little
king
bit
size.
better.
Kit Kat.
See, king
That's,
size
like,
is just too
huge.
much. It's just too much. I can't do it.
I don't even know how big a king size Kit Kat is. Is that a real thing?
Yeah,
Is it?
I should have
like-
brought that. We should have
yeah.
eaten that tonight.
The,
Yeah,
the,
on the
the we
microphone.
the we should have list on this show keeps getting longer and longer and longer.
I'm just gonna start eating things while we're.
You can edit it all
As
out.
soon
so I
as-
guess it'll be fine.
As soon as Rallies starts sponsoring this podcast, that'd be the best thing
God
ever.
Damn it. We follow them on Twitter and they have yet to respond to us.
Are you guys trying to get sponsors?
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just do this for free because we're fucking idiots.
So no luck so far.
We've actually had a little bit of success with that.
We're
but,
working on it.
you know.
We're
Some
working on it.
leads. Top secret.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard. Adam and Eve wants videos of you using their products, and that's hard for us for a variety of reasons.
What is it, Adam and Eve? What? Who are they?
They're free speech advocates.
Okay.
They had those leaves on their crotches, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Discreet packaging.
If there's a good loose leaf joke yet, I haven't heard it.
The children's letters were like terrifying though. Like that was
This episode was very
Yeah, they were real
depressing.
butt nutters.
that bicycle you
Oh,
shot
that's
at
when he
me
said it,
out of your
right.
bicycle gun. When, like, I'm still bruised for that. And the other kid's like, could you send a coffin? Because my grandpa choked on that walnut and he's starting to smell. Like, it. Even then, would Santa still be treating those kids as naughty, or would those kids be nice because they're
They're naughty.
supplicating?
Everyone's naughty.
Would
But
he
they
send
still
a
get
coffin?
presents.
So would a coffin be like a nice present or a naughty present?
I mean, he's asking
It'd be
for
a
it.
nice.
So
And a full year went by and they didn't do anything with that corpse.
Well, what if it was just him and his grandpa and he doesn't know what to do and he doesn't
Yeah.
know who to call and he's just living there with his
Didn't think
dead
about that,
grandpa?
did
It's
ya?
the year 3000. I would think they could do something about it.
I don't know. I think it's just him and the corpse.
you'd think a guy would be able to tell the difference between boards nailed up on front of his TV and an actual TV show.
Well, he's not.
Speaking of
He's
boards,
from the year 2000.
here's a
we're like-
question. Why was what's her name? The girl in the beginning who fell off the building?
Amy,
Amy. Why was Amy nailing wooden boards when there was that bulletproof?
she's from Mars.
Okay. So,
Because
And-
it's a cartoon and then it's a funny little
No.
joke.
but
Oh,
But-
so I'm going to interrupt real quick. Then please answer that question. I'm doing a live video on Instagram, and at Blu-ray just said "bite my shiny metal ass."
Oh, that's nice.
The
Did-
public will
so,
never see it.
What I realized when they got to Neptune, number one, they all had the sweet like Hoth gear. You know, when they came out of the bottom of the Planet Express to deliver the letters, like it was the, sort of the winter wear costumes. We haven't seen those before. But also that the Neptunians are basically North Koreans.
But how do you think Elzar got to where he is at? Because he's a Neptunian.
How come Elzar doesn't have a hand-holding partner then?
Well,
Did he kill them?
you know what? That would be an interesting backstory. We never know how he got out of Neptune and became the world famous chef that he is.
Sure knows
'Cause
how to work a spice weasel.
They
though.
never discuss how when Santa Claus bot was created, right?
I thought
I
they
don't
did
think
in the
so.
previous episode, like a little bit of backstory.
Oh, maybe they did.
And also, Elzar is like a normal-sized person. So is that just because he's had access to nutritious food? Are you sure? Look, are you sure Elzar is actually a Neptunian, or are you
Yes,
just
100% sure.
Are you being racist?
No,
and
I'm
making-
100% sure. Right, Horchie?
I'm not 100% sure, but that's what I thought he was. He looks just like one, but
He-
tall.
They've talked about it.
They do?
Since when?
Well, maybe they haven't, but whatever.
I like the sign saying "Toy Factory closed, coming soon, crack house." Those banners might be good things to have in some of our more blighted areas, right? Or is that just too dark?
No, it's just that Neptune is very depressing.
Why don't they leave then?
How can they leave?
How?
On a spaceship.
How are they going to get that spaceship?
Why didn't those three rescue them?
That's not
Aren't they-
their
aren't they
job.
there to-
They're-
they're
yeah,
there to-
it's not their
well,
job.
What is their job specifically? Just to do
A
whatever
delivery
that-
crew.
Yeah, they're a delivery service.
Okay.
They delivered the
that's
Santa
all they
Claus
do.
letters.
They're like
Yes.
space UPS.
But they're also like they're able to fight monsters and they're tough, right?
Well, not necessarily. I mean, Fry's really pretty inept, except in his moments of, idiot genius. And Bender's more lazy and self-serving than anything, but not afraid to antagonize people and get into fights. Leela is very competent and pretty much a badass, but then she's usually sandbagged by those two other numbskulls. So it kind of...
I picture like Bender hanging out at like McCarthy's or something.
No, Bender would hang out at like the Lido Lounge
Okay.
and live
He's
like
more
a
Lido.
king. Yeah, he's... until he knocked somebody over and came into a big score, and then he'd probably live like a king until all that money ran out. Like he's actually very he's very successful when he chooses to work as a pimp, and he's been brought up on charges for that before.
Interesting.
Yeah.
A robot pimp.
Yes. Well, I mean, he was pimping robots, so it wasn't like human trafficking; it was robot trafficking.
Which is a crime still, right?
I don't think so.
No?
I don't honestly. I don't think a lot of stuff is crimes. I mean, you had that one cop that they find here in this episode who's like, "I'm going to get my job back," and he's still dressed as a police officer. Clearly, he's impersonating a cop, and that's not a problem.
It's a crime to be Santa Claus.
Yeah, because Santa Claus is murdering people. He's a brute. There was Joey Mousepad and Clamp showed up in this. That was kind of fun. They're just in one of the
They were beating the shopkeeper.
were they beating the shopkeeper?
Yes.
I thought
That's the
those
only
were-
part I know that.
I
'cause
thought those were other.
one
guys,
of
but
them
that
had
makes sense.
one of them had
the
the
dead cat.
dead cat.
See, why was I thinking that was just regular people? So when they reactivate the toy factory, I really enjoyed the song that the Neptunians sang.
Fuck you.
See, I think I skipped
You
through the
didn't-
song the second
you
time.
didn't like
God,
it?
yeah. It's this
My note says
worst
stupid
part
song.
of the-
Yeah, I
my note
skipped
says song,
it.
and let me hear it. You can look at this. It says song, and then I went to write Black, and I spelled it
spelled
wrong,
Black.
and I crossed it out. I went to write I went to write blah, and then instead of an H I wrote a K, so it said bleak, and I didn't want to forget that and write. Oh, I wrote the song was bleak. Well, it was, but so then I crossed.
I
out
just
the,
like that one of the first lines was "We are free and fairly sober." That sets the tone for it. Like
No,
they're
no.
not totally
Songs
sober. They're just mostly sober.
In The Simpsons, Futurama,
It was
and
a long
Family
song.
Guy. All the they're 99% of the time bad. It's always that quick thrown together, like trying to be funny and rhyme, and it never works. And it
Monorail.
just
Sometimes
clap.
it works.
That's the
Yeah,
exception.
That's the 1%. That's one of them.
I'd say more like, 15% of the time it works.
No,
I
I'm
wanna
gonna
s-
say 90.
I want to get a
2,
patch
92%.
for my coat that says 1%. When people ask about it, it's like, oh no. The 1%, that means when a song in a
Cartoon.
cartoon.
Yeah,
Is?
that won't go badly at all. You won't run into trouble with murderous biker gangs because you're calling yourself a 1%er. That'll go super smooth.
What about the rich people?
Why are you wearing that top hat and monocle? That's how I dress, sir.
I think that's 2%. I thought it was the 98% and the 2%.
I thought it was 9.
And you can remember that because 2% milk.
I thought it was 1%.
And you can remember
No?
that because milk of magnesia. And you can remember that because
Jane's addiction.
Magnets.
2% milk.
Magnets.
What's the other
What do they do? What are
98%?
they?
What?
It's how do they work?
Where's the
You
other?
know, what are they for?
98%
I don't
of the
remember.
No,
milk?
I did. I
fucked it up
said it
too.
wrong.
The other 98% of the milk
Is soy
it's in
like Subway's chicken?
No, dude, it's in,
Didn't-
it's in the cream.
I don't know.
Is that
The other
is,
98% is in the
is
cream.
Subway chicken not chicken?
Someone needs to
Uh,
look it up. Is it
Subway's-
99 or 98?
Chicken is only like 50% chicken DNA.
Oh,
rest
okay.
is
Yeah,
soy.
well, that's a lot of.
And yoga
Stuff like-
man.
Can either of you, any of you, explain the dial that said "slow, fast, Lucy"?
I don't remember that.
I remember that. I cannot explain it.
It was
Tom?
like on the conveyor
Nope.
belt. They have slow, fast, and Lucy, and they turn it up to Lucy.
No.
and then it starts moving
remember
faster.
that.
Is that supposed to mean that like somebody named Lucy is? Oh wait! Oh my God!
Oh, Lucy! Wow,
Lu-
it's like as you were saying it,
They all
right
just
as you were
got
about to
it,
say it.
except
Oh
for
my
me.
God! Like,
From from the I Love Lucy
yeah,
episode.
wow. We suck.
Okay.
Can you edit that out so we don't look as
Fuck.
stupid
Nope.
as we?
No,
Because
that should, you should
I
move
was
that
going
to
to
the
a-
front of the episode.
I was going to absolutely be like, really? None of you got that?
Oh,
That's
you
why
were
I
waiting
asked
for
you to
us to go,
clarify.
so you could just. Yeah.
I was thinking it was some sort of thing like there's slow, fast.
I love
and we
Lucy
know
when
this
she's
fast
eating
lady.
the
She's kinda
chocolate covered
fast.
cherries with
Huh?
It would Lucille Ball was an actress.
Yeah, I know
She was
Lucy
at a
Ball
famous
is.
show, and
I Love
The most
Lucy was a
famous,
TV show.
Yes, I know.
And
I
they got
know
into-
this.
Her and her girlfriend got into so many different
Wacky
scenarios.
capers.
Yeah, wacky capers.
'Cause
At
they
one
should-
time,
Shenanigans.
they worked at a chocolate factory, and they were on
They
a
got
conveyor
so
belt.
many 2% milk of
And it just kept going faster and faster, and they couldn't put everything together, so they just started like
Wasn't
it
that-
went fast.
Shoving
and
them in any hole that would take them.
They
Right.
parodied it on Family Guy.
But what does it have to do with? Oh, okay, light bulb.
Okay.
I got it.
It's like a 45-second delay.
Took a little while, but I got it.
It
Edit
took
Mart.
me 3 days, so it all
Yeah.
works out.
Right.
Is so don't listen to him. He's the father of all lies and the uncle of all tricks.
That was good. That was okay. It's like the episode gets better. It's terrible at the beginning. In the middle, it's like, all right, this isn't good, but they're starting to throw. And then honestly, the whole third act, like, there's all this stuff in the third act. I'm like, oh, this is some. Well, it's probably just decent, but it's so much better than the rest of the episode that it's, But there's. We'll get to it. We'll get to it later.
still
But
think
one of
it's a
my
pretty
favorite things is
substandard
in this episode, and it's right at the end. No, of course it is. I just said the first act sucks. The second one, the whole middle is, okay-ish, and then it gets better. That's a subpar episode.
How
It's
did
not
you
a good
feel
episode.
about Kwanzaa Bot?
He just smiled.
Tom, do you want to say it? Because I'm so excited to say it. Oh, let me just say this before you say it.
Would you say that
Cassie
Kwanzaa Bot's
looked at my
mission was a
notes and then
fantastic
wrote
voyage?
a question mark after this note. Tom, do you want to say what you're going to say about
No,
Kwanzaa
so
Bot?
that-
No, you say it.
Well, you say it now that you figured it out.
Well,
Will
so
Kwanzaa Bot
it's supposed to
wind
be
out?
Coolio.
No, it's Coolio.
It
He-
is cool.
Coolio plays Kwanzaa Bot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but the character's not supposed to be Coolio Kwanzaa
No,
Bot.
you're ruining my excitement about telling everyone. I just found out yesterday that was Coolio. He's a reoccurring character.
You
He is.
didn't
Kwanzaa Bot.
know that it was
No.
Coolio? Oh.
This guy. It's gonna lord the I Love Lucy thing over me for
I got it before you, though, right? I got it before him, right?
what the
Tom?
Lucy
Yes.
thing.
No,
Oh, the Coolio thing.
the Coolio thing, he got it.
No, the Lucy thing, too.
You
Just as long as
no.
I'm ahead of the curve.
you didn't get it ahead of me. It was you spoke first, but I think it was at the same time.
But,
I got it way last.
Pixar,
Yeah.
it didn't happen.
The lastiest.
The what the hell is Kwanzaa joke, though? Little.
Yeah, not great. Not great for a bunch of white writers to make that joke at that time.
But honestly, what is Kwanzaa?
and then I kept thinking, well, that was a whole thing.
It's a-
That time period. And
I
the-
know what
the
Kwanzaa is, Pete.
Yeah.
You don't have to explain
And, but
it.
the 10 years before that, absolutely, that was a totally appropriate joke to me. Like at that time, I would have been like, and I was when I saw it. I'm like, oh yeah, what is it? And that's what everybody joked about. And then, now it's later, and it's like, oh, that's a pretty like, I don't have the words, but like, oh, what is it? We
It's
don't
not.
know.
It's not like a joke to make nowadays.
Yeah.
But back then, like
I'm totally.
I mean,
I'm defending that it was.
No, it just, general sort of cultural insensitivity aside, I don't think it's a very good joke.
Oh, and then that, yeah. Well, for then it would be like, oh, really? Kwanzaa?
Eh.
Wow.
I did not laugh
Who's
out
your
loud.
Who's your next target?
The Hanukkahs?
yeah. Hanukkah zombie.
No,
That's true.
now they made a bathtub full of eggnog, but I thought in the last
Just like Grandma used to make.
Well, but
Monica
Fry's-
Lewinsky. That's what I should have said. Who's your next target? Monica Lewinsky.
But
All right, anyways.
Fry's dad's eggnog recipe was bourbon and ice and then more bourbon.
yeah, but maybe he went with his grandma's recipe.
Which was
What are
then-
you asking?
Which was then soured by Zoidberg bathing in it.
I think Zoidberg bathing in anything would sour it.
What planet is he from?
Oh, hey,
Dodeca.
damn it.
Something 20.
Oh.
Or is it Dodecapodia?
Orgy, you're the planet expert.
It was in a previous episode when he went back to mate. I might be thinking the Dodecapodians are his people.
As the planet expert, I will say,
Wait, where does it take place?
Not Earth.
Where does the show take place on Earth?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
1,000 years in the future.
Okay.
Uh,
Got it.
I almost interrupted you guys in the middle of something.
And
but
the Earth
that-
is united like
Tom right now.
America is united currently.
Hmm.
So it's Earth as like a country versus other planets, which
I
are
think
other
what Tom meant to
countries
say
almost.
is it's Earth after the one world government takes power and the Illuminati are lifted to their rightful position as the rulers of the entire planet. That's both Gene and Paul.
The Kwanzaa book
Gene and Chuck.
was spelled wrong. The word Kwanzaa.
No, there's 2 different spellings.
They both,
I can't argue with you. I
they
don't know if
both have
that's true or
double
not.
A's, so what are you going to do about it?
Literally, there are 2 different spellings.
I don't. Okay, I can only believe you. I want to believe that you're wrong, and I'm sorry. I want you to be wrong so bad, but I can't argue. I don't know. I'm not a Kwanzaa expert.
Banjo.
I haven't read that book. Oh.
No, I'm serious. There's 2 different spellings. Just like there's 2 different spellings of Hanukkah
Are there
and Christmas.
Are there 2 different
fair enough.
spellings of the bird lawyer who looks like Jeff Sessions? I didn't. Did you take that from this episode, or was it from a previous episode with him?
I think it's. I
He's
think that
been
picture
in this
from this
episode.
episode.
Okay. Well, he was in it. I think. Okay, so he was in a
I mean,
previous
he's been
episode as a
in-
lawyer because he's like a Matlock lawyer. But like, just the fact that you had that meme sort of riding around.
No, I hadn't watched the episode yet. I'm a big fan of Futurama. Like I was watching Jeff Sessions struggle
With
when he put his
committing
little old
treason
grandpa
and-
glasses on
and perjury.
Yeah, and he was, he already speaks the way publicly that he does, and he was doing like the Keebler Elf grandpa thing of like, and when I saw him, so you know what, somebody.
How great would it have been if during those hearings he looked at Al Franken and said, "I'm sorry, I thought you were Corn."
Oh, that's what. Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah. No, when that was happening, I definitely somebody stole the idea from somebody posted. Oh, somebody posted a picture of Jeff Sessions next to one of the Harry Potter. Who runs the banks in Harry Potter? They're like
The goblins.
The goblins. One of the goblins. It might have been. Yeah, I think it was one of the goblins, and it looked just like him, like the glasses and the face and everything. And I was like, "Oh, who do I think you?" Because I steal jokes when people start them, and I'm like, "Who does that look like to me?" And I'm like, "Oh, the fucking Southern lawyer from the Chicken Lawyer."
Evil man. He's
the
just-
hyper chicken. By the way, Tom, do you know his
fucking
name?
awful.
Did I write it down? I've always just called him the
Hyper chicken.
Yeah, the hyper chicken lawyer. I didn't know if he had a name.
Do you think Judge Whitey was maybe a little too on the nose?
Now, or do you mean back then?
I just mean in general.
He, you know what? This is when the episode starts to pick up when they get to
You
the court.
think?
Yeah.
Okay.
You disagree?
I don't ever think it picked up, but carry on. Judge
When
Whitey.
they get the courtroom scene is not as bad as the rest of the episode. How did we get here? So Bender? Yeah, he gets caught. Whatever.
Badger? Where?
Yeah, just not that
After
good.
the professor shoots
There's
him
a lot
bunch.
of that. The courtroom scene, like the Badger joke, his stuff of where he's doing his chicken stuff, like when he's on top of the courthouse at the end of the scene and goes "Wah," whatever. It's just like the most pointless. Like it doesn't.
They were scrambling to fill time.
Yeah, all it was. It was the whole episode was just.
Did not enjoy it.
But it was a bunch of time fillers to remind me of somebody being like, well, then what would this character do? I don't do whatever. I've seen the show. It just ugh.
Yeah, it was just, and even just sort of, I just felt like the Judge Whitey stuff was a little weak.
No, I like him though. I like
Does he
that
come
character.
back?
I like that. Yeah, he does. And every time he's on, I like that. I don't know. I'm a, I hate, the man. Like I like seeing a character that like, oh, the judge is always going to be, the whitest, richest guy ever who definitely cannot identify with anybody else in the courtroom, especially the people on trial. So like it's always nice to see.
So Bender gets sent to
that character come
Statica
back.
State Prison. Ha ha ha. Dumb pun.
I didn't even notice that sign.
Yeah, it's because it's like Attica, but it's Statica.
I know. I mean, I didn't see the sign. I didn't.
Why aren't we bringing up that everyone was totally racist in thinking that a robot with a Santa hat was actually
You know
a
what?
Santa
But that was
bot?
another like lazy writing thing where that whole time that's going on and he's getting sent to the
He was
the jail and all
also
that stuff,
painted
like,
red.
Like all
Plus, he was delivering all this stuff.
Yeah, there's that too, and he dumped
yeah,
them all off. in
but
the
they all
mutants.
know what Santa Bot looks like. He's been around for a long
Maybe he
time,
lost robot
and he's
weight.
fat, and he has a beard, and he talks different.
Can
and his face
robots
is
lose
different, all this
weight?
stuff.
They could
I
screw their
guess
heads up. Well, you
maybe.
know what? Yes, they can because
Okay,
it's happened in
see.
a previous episode, and I had problems with that too.
But
But they can't.
Yeah, they can. Yeah, they can. But like,
Exactly.
there's at no point the characters even they don't even bother to go, hey, that's not Santa, and then make a joke about it. What do you know? He is like they don't even acknowledge it that Bender's friends
Well,
don't
they
say.
think he is Santa, but well, all the people do.
He's
Why?
flying
Yeah,
around.
but I'm
He's flying
saying-
around in Santa's
they shouldn't.
sleigh. He's delivering presents. He's
Yeah.
painted red. He has a Santa hat on.
He went on Robot Weight Watchers.
But he doesn't look. His face is different. Like
He
it
could have
doesn't-
uploaded his operating
But
system
the other
into a
thing
new
is
body.
that none of the characters said. Oh, that none of his friends said that's not.
Were they
the Santa
called as
body.
witnesses?
No, I mean before that when he was getting arrested and when other stuff was, or just yelled it out or whatever.
Well, he was
like,
operating as Santa's proxy. So, was he Santa? Like Tim Allen,
that's a good point.
because
You got a point.
Oh,
Or
God,
Dudley-
I didn't
when you have a
think
point-
about that. Actually,
or Dudley Moore or Mrs. Tim Allen. Which one was the lady, Mrs.
Let's get
Claus?
my lawyer on the line here.
So, we have a special cameo by your favorite person, the Robot Devil.
That's when it that was
That was
That's a
good-
kind of
okay.
funny
That
line.
was all right.
Yeah,
I
That's
heard
when
him.
he's going through the jail and the tough sailor, old timey jail guy is like, you tell the robot devil I'm a coming, and then not Dan Castellaneta.
Castanella, yeah.
It's
John DiMaggio.
is it? He did Robot Santa. Was it? I think it might have been.
He did.
No, I
Paul-
wrote it down.
Was
Oh,
it
maybe
Maurice
is it somebody
LaMarche?
else?
It's Maurice LaMarche.
That's what
Oh,
I just
okay.
said.
Yeah.
Cassie, what was your favorite Christmas present that I got you? You have 3 seconds to remember
shit.
one. I'll tell you mine.
Wait. Oh, you tell me yours first.
This probably isn't it, but the one that it might not even been, it might have been a birthday, but the phone battery thing. I use that all the time. I
Oh.
take it every time I go somewhere where I think I'm gonna.
I'm
This
just
is
make-
way more
I'm
fucking
just making
interesting
sure
than this
Tom's
show.
putting the edit points in.
I thought of one.
What is it?
The red microwave.
Oh, all right, good.
I don't know if that was Christmas.
I could have been.
It was Christmas.
That's
Could've
a
been X-
euphemism, isn't it?
Could have been Kwanzaa. What?
Mhm.
We're gonna end this. We're gonna end this podcast after the random number generator reaches 0, and I'm just gonna start naming.
You know, one of the
numbers.
best things about that was the fact that the mayor has
That was
a-
pretty good.
a
Random number
5-minute
generator? Pretty
conversation with him and then puts the executioner hood on in front of him.
good. Oh yeah,
It's
that
like,
was.
No, it's got to
that
be
was a
good
joke.
for them so they're watching because it was
Yeah.
too boring.
And
That
that guy
was,
was like the critic, right? He was from the guy, the executioner.
is
Nope.
No,
from
that was
Office
Mayor,
Space.
that was
actually,
Mayor Poopenmeyer.
which is.
Do you remember that show, The Critic?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Why did it look just like that guy?
He kind
He
of does.
didn't. He was
thought it
way,
looks like a
way,
little-
way less Semitic.
But the
taller,
voice
thinner.
is
I swear it
from
looked-
David Herman.
Yeah, from Office Space.
Yep. Yep.
Michael Bolton from Office Space. You've seen Office
I
Space.
have. It's been a while, but I've
The
seen
critic was John Lovitz.
it. Okay.
So he was
Our biggest
a
fan.
whole,
Our first fan.
a whole different energy of that. Mayor Poopenmeyer
Our
has
only
been on
fan.
several times. Big Ball of Garbage was one. He's probably 3 or 4 times he's popped up. Whenever there's something that needs to be addressed on a civic level, you can be sure that Mayor Poopenmeyer is going to be there.
It's good to know.
Yeah, I mean, he showed up to fulfill his duty as executioner.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty important stuff. But what had me wondering.
Hold on. Go ahead, Tom. Get it out.
On Infosphere, the last goof of the episode is that everything that happens on Neptune is impossible because Neptune is a gaseous
yeah,
planet.
No, yeah. No, that's pretty weak for Futurama.
It only bothers me that I didn't come up with that.
We
first.
don't. We assume it's gaseous. We don't know
Yeah, we know.
Have you been to Neptune?
exactly.
Space probes have. The Voyager
Yeah.
1.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what part? Well, I guess that's not a sound argument.
I don't know. No one here at this table is a scientist, but one thing I've learned, Flat Earth Tom, is that like you can just
Excuse me. Hollow Earth.
What? Oh, yeah, no. But seriously, yeah, like
Don't
we
put
can't-
me in with those.
you can't ask
Flat
me
Earth
how I
people.
know because everyone says so. So it's that's all I need to know. You can't,
Yeah, and in 1,000 years, maybe it's not gaseous
Does
anymore.
Zoidberg Jesus show up elsewhere in the series? I fucking hope so. That was really like it was so
I don't
endearing.
know.
It's the best part of the whole episode.
Is this really it? Is that it?
That I don't know how many times I randomly say and his pal Jesus or whatever. That's a fan favorite. Zoidberg Jesus is a fan favorite. And then his line when everybody's leaving, he's like, "I help those who help themselves."
Yeah, that was good. But that comes back to a point where why couldn't Bender free himself from the executioner thing by breaking the straps? Because before the magnets come on, so
I'm
he's
Because
sure-
it was like a robot killer.
Yeah,
it had
I'm
to
sh-
be like
Thank
But,
you.
well, look,
robot
but at
strength.
the
Yes,
end
logic.
when they break the straps, which Santa does, snap, snap. It's real easy.
Santa's real lot stronger than Bender.
Okay, but
Yeah.
Santabot is also magical.
so
And-
so is Bender. If you've listened to any of our
No,
previous
nobody's
episodes.
magical.
Possibly.
Nobody is magical.
He's 100% magical.
Horchie
No.
believes in magic.
Oh, how are you going to get in here, Bender? Oh, I don't know. I might just bend these bars. Oh, this is a good idea.
Exactly. Well,
that was a really funny
That was
line.
my whole point. So if he's strapped in before they turn on the magnets to rip him apart, couldn't he just stretch his Bender arms around and bend off the
No.
straps?
Those
Why?
aren't, that's not bending, that's ripping.
He could have bent them out and over his
Yeah, he's
head.
not programmed to rip.
No, he's not bending.
Are you gonna say anything about him singing a folk song when the magnet, Pete? That's your thing. Comment on it.
Did he sing when the magnets got turned on?
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
he was just yelling.
I think he was
yeah.
singing,
Swing low, sweet chariot, right?
Yeah.
But that's I didn't even equate that with the whole thing because that seemed in.
Well, that's one of those things that maybe you shouldn't argue with Tom and I all the time about stuff. You're not going to pay attention
no,
to what
because it
happens
was-
to Bender and what he
No,
does.
because,
yeah, get him, Jesus.
look. The thing is, you would kind of expect someone who is going to death row to be executed to sing like an old spiritual, which is what that is.
That's a good excuse for not noticing or
normally-
paying attention. Yeah,
Normally, when a magnet, like a kitchen magnet, gets slapped on his head, he starts singing something totally non sequitur and way more upbeat. Like it has nothing to do with the situation at hand. He just goes amok. And this is like, oh, this is an appropriate song for him being ripped apart by a magnetic thing.
Good old Maggie.
And this has been Semantics Corner with Pete Woodward.
Yes. I'm just saying the reason it didn't track with me is it seemed like really my criticism should have been that song was appropriate for the situation instead of being something crazy. Like if he had started singing, the Mexican hat dance or something, then game on. But instead they pummel him with this incredibly strong.
It was over your head. I get it. It's fine. Just admit it. It's fine.
But then when Santa
A little too quick for you. That's all right.
Santa saves the day and gets
Slipped one under old Petey Pants Woodward.
Santa respects Bender
But why?
at the end of this. Because Bender is naughty to the point where Santa likes it.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
makes a
makes
good
sense.
evil sidekick. So
We didn't capture the thing too where he gave up like halfway through and dumped all the presents down into the mutants.
when you saw the
And then she got mad about the unrealistic.
yeah, I didn't write
body
that down either.
standards.
That was because it was just there were so many, just especially in the first half where like there were little bits. I'm like, well, maybe someone will write that down. I don't feel like picking up a pen to write that down. This episode,
I know,
sucks.
and I
Like,
feel really
what does she
bad
say? Like she makes the
about
comment
that.
about Barbie being whatever because she's a mutant.
This is
Oh,
unrealistic
wow,
beauty
good,
standards.
great,
Like-
great joke.
I'm tired of writing just like this episode. It would have just written. This episode would just written down lines, like just any.
This feels like
quotes, and
some
it's
nerd.
Nothing you were
Nothing-
excited about.
This is like some nerd created an algorithm to write its own
That's
Futurama
exactly.
episode.
That's a really good way
Like
to
it's
put it.
really by rote.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, here's an antagonist from a previous thing, and then you have Santa, and you have the robot devil, and you have Mayor Poopermeyer, all these different.
Yeah.
things. They're like, bleh. I literally have 2 notes left. One of them is that Kwanzaa was Coolio, so we're down
Okay.
to one thing. Like it just Fry and
What-
Zoidberg hugging. I like that. When they were huddling for warmth.
Oh yeah, that was very sweet, and I do like that ending of like that's the, figure it out. Not great. It was okay. When you said when you guys were talking about Bender, being his evil sidekick, nobody mentioned that Fry he's like, Bender, will you join me tonight, or slaying, etc. And Fry's like, don't do it, he's evil. And Santa's like, I know, but I know he is, but I have no choice.
Yeah.
It was okay, I mean,
Yeah, it was a bait and switch, but it's like
if that were a funnier moment, instead of me running through that, I would have said the line and you guys would have gone, haha. But no.
nah, it's just
Yeah.
God damn it. This might be the worst episode we've had in a long time.
And this is,
a
I
long
thought I
time.
was going to, watch an episode and get really excited
Yeah,
to
and
watch
be
more
like-
Futurama.
You can watch all the Futurama you want.
Watch the one you were
Well,
supposed
now
to do.
I don't know if I'm inspired
Before the schedule
to.
got moved around, watch the Luck of the Friars. I guarantee you'll be like, oh,
I'll watch it.
I get why you like the show. Now I'm not saying that
just
you'll be
watch
like
season 2.
no. Just watch that episode. Just watch that episode.
Luck
of the Friarish.
This is
That's the one you're
maybe
supposed to do,
one
just
of the
watch it.
weakest ones since season 1. I feel like I don't feel like we've had one that overall are just like
It's about the 80s. It's
like
about the 80s.
oh.
So why'd you guys choose this
Deactivated
one?
podcast walking.
Why did you guys choose this one for me to watch if it's my
This
first?
schedule?
What?
It was just
I
the schedule.
had nothing to do with this, Cassie.
Who did it?
Oh,
Who
okay.
did it?
Just
Who did
blame
it?
me.
You did it?
Me, I'm doing the booking.
Why?
No, look, because there's a spreadsheet.
Because you seek your.
we go no
But we
because
go by
we go
dates.
in
We
order.
don't go by the video or the
yeah,
episode.
we go
or
by
the-
order of episodes. So this was the next production episode,
Mm-hmm.
and based on the calendar availability, this was your luck of the draw. We
And it was
pushed
your
forward.
I
job.
don't know. I
It
don't
was
know.
your
I think
job
it
to
was- there
punch
was a
this
little
up.
Maliciousness.
You can't make me
behind
feel
this-
bad. I don't
this
care.
choice.
Can you guys try and make each other feel bad on mic? That might be a good way to send the episode out. Just
I have to pee. You guys
can we
keep
have
talking.
an airing of grievances between the two of you?
Well, he's
Or not.
leaving. He
Just-
just got
just
up and
temporarily.
left.
I really do have to pee.
Well,
Like
yeah.
5 times.
Let's talk about all the other times he got up and left, Cassie. Right?
Oh,
Oh shit!
We were told because you wrote a book that you were going to just punch this episode up and that we didn't have to do much. So
Yeah.
so yeah. So I wrote a book. And
Did you bring illustrations of the episode or of us talking about the episode with you?
Well, I'm not an illustrator.
Yeah, but you know one.
I did not. I mean, I guess I could.
Can you call her right now and see if she can draw something and send it over by the time we get done recording?
Well, she's at work.
I don't care.
I could draw something right now if you guys. Just give me a pen and
What do you
paper.
think?
I'll do it.
Should we?
It's
take
going to be
that?
great.
Should we take that? But is it going to be tremendous?
Be tremendous.
We're going to turn this into a game of Pictionary. Okay, Tom has placed a sheet of loose leaf paper in front of Cassie.
So we start.
And now she is drawing 3 round circles.
They're heads.
Mostly round circles. They
Heads.
don't look like heads yet. They just look like circles. They could be holes in a bowling ball. Now she's given Tom glasses.
I'm not moving and I'm looking like I'm
and she's given me glasses.
a very stoic position.
Horchie does not have glasses. Oh, she gave us creepy ass eyeballs.
These are normal eyeballs.
Yeah, but you can't put normal eyeballs in 2D drawings without them looking weird and creepy.
I don't know. I think it looks like artistic genius.
At this
Eyeballs.
point, I don't
We
know
look like
what.
Ninja Turtles.
Yeah,
Horchie's
I was
eyes are
thinking
more
the
like-
same thing, and I don't know which is the top of our head and which is the bottom of our head. So this is already getting to be kind of a mind fuck.
No,
But
you're gonna see the vision's gonna just pop out.
This is-
any minute.
hey, those eyebrows are completely unrealistic.
No, I think they're pretty dead on.
Tom is not Mexican. I resent you drawing him with that mustache.
But he has a mustache. He's got some,
Now he looks like Doctor Strange.
I'm okay with that. We are still looking like Ninja Turtles.
I know.
Where do you see the Ninja Turtle in this? I don't see any.
I don't
Well,
know, the round
there's-
face.
There's the
and
shells. I mean,
you put a samurai mask and
Horchie is apparently Eddie Munster. I don't know how this.
I can't see it, but I'm sure that's accurate. I am very Eddie Munster.
it probably is accurate.
Those you have thicker
You
eyebrows.
were-
I'm not an.
I do have thick
I'm not a-
eyebrows.
I'm
You
not a
gave
visual
me.
artist.
You were very generous with my hair there.
We
I
all
definitely
look
don't have much
like
hair.
we all look like Chippy from Tim and Eric. Is basically what this is coming out to.
What if I pose like keep moving and then you won't know what
And she
body shape
totally
I
fucked
have?
up your arms.
What do you mean? These
Those
are
tattoos
I,
aren't
for all I know,
even-
Tom's the robot Santa.
Mom.
He's not a robot Santa. He's not wearing the Santa hat. So obviously he's not the robot Santa.
You're robot.
I gotta ask
Maybe
you
Santa
guys
hat.
this.
Pete got a Santa hat on.
Going forward, are we going to have to go through a whole lot more episodes of this caliber?
No.
Not till later.
me.
Way later.
Just my episode.
No, not the episode of our show. I meant the episode of Futurama.
That's
No.
we know. I know what you meant. Cassie was just joking.
Was she?
Was I? Wait,
don't
what's the
know.
joke?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I'm. This is really the first one I've watched in a long time that made me kind of resent the half hour I lost watching.
Yeah, me too.
I'll tell you what,
Blech.
the next episode that I feel the same way about this
Yeah.
is the end of season 4, like before it gets canceled.
So we have like another 20. Well, really, probably more like 30 episodes before we get there.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Okay.
And there's a lot of good episodes.
Were there any deleted scenes in this episode?
I didn't even look. I
you
didn't
were
care.
just so like who, what? So there was a scene from this episode, this terrible episode that was not good enough to be in this shit episode.
No,
and you're like, I can't wait to see it. Like,
No, I'm wondering. If
no,
it
I'm
was,
just saying. Of course, I'm
I'm wondering if there was a scene that was actually
identify with why.
If there's a scene, are our heads on fire?
Those are Santa hats
They look like
to celebrate
flames.
Xmas.
Our heads are on fire. with
Orchie's
passion
holding
and
a bunch of bananas.
No,
and,
it's a hot dog
Oh.
and some beer.
Aw.
We
It's
don't-
Horchie staples.
I've been putting hot dogs in ramen soup.
To be
My new
honest,
thing.
That's a good
we
thing to
we
do.
look like adorable Neptunian versions of ourselves.
We're not holding
See,
hands.
I'm gonna
though,
sell
and we
this-
only have
this-
two
Oh,
arms.
God.
I will sell one of you guys this.
I think you dropped the ball on the feet. Those are some weak ass feet.
I got kind of tired when it got to the feet.
Feet
portion.
are difficult. Feet and hands.
Cassie can't drop.
Just kidding.
I know.
I'll improve the feet.
All right, so I think the way we got into this is we were asking you to call your illustrator friend. Clearly, that relationship is soured. So you this illustrator that you used,
Were you guys talking about her book?
was
We're
she
trying
started to,
to.
and then I asked her if she brought any illustrations of either the Futurama episode or of us talking about the Futurama episode, and that led to this.
Yes, I did.
If she
monstrosity.
brought any, you asked her if she brought any
Yeah.
like she
Yes.
was coming out.
If
Because
she
that's the thing that
commissioned-
people do. Like, oh, I'm
if
going to a
she
podcast. I
commissions-
Well,
better
if I was the
portraits.
illustrator, maybe, but I was not the illustrator. But I did this.
Did you not know
lovely
she wasn't the
piece of-
illustrator?
Piece of work.
I
don't-
started talking
don't
about the
care.
movie version of the book, and everyone got lost. So
But that
Uh,
was for Doctor Strange.
that's based off of Cassie's book.
Yes. Tilda Swinton plays.
Well,
a
what did
really
I miss?
big
Like,
piece
let's-
in
no.
that book.
Let's
hear
talk
about
about
the book.
why you're here, because you wrote a book.
Well, that's
And
not
no,
why
no,
I'm
no, no,
here.
no, no. You know, I feel bad because I said author at the beginning. Published author. You're published. You can buy your book at stores.
Yeah. Well, there's going to be a signing coming up. If anyone
Or
wants
online.
to come out, you can buy it on Amazon, or you can come to Barnes and Noble on April
They still have those?
6th. Yeah.
Is this going to be out before then? Or is this just under the wire?
Oh.
And the only reason I say that is there is a delay. You're welcome to plug it.
No, we don't have much of a buffer. This is coming out before.
I can tell you
April
right now
6th.
what it is.
Oh, look how the confidence of Tom
And
picking
the-
up his
and the
tablet.
and the last
straightening his
time,
glasses. I can tell you guys right now.
The last time we
you
had
look like
an
you're about to tell
episode-
us if the dinosaurs are close enough and if we can put the gates up in time.
the last
Like,
time
you
we
look like
had
a
an
scientist in
episode with a
movie that's
timely
like-
plug, Tom's dad died, and that broke that.
Wow.
I know.
Hey, I have an idea though. What if you
This comes out
guys-
3/22/2017.
Okay,
so look at that.
So
Perfect.
So, April 6th, 6:30, Barnes and Noble and Crocker Park. And if you guys
Crocker
come,
Park,
you're
In Westlake,
Westlake,
Ohio.
Ohio, 44145,
exit
exit Crocker Bassett
off of-
Road.
off of
So
I-90.
that's a Thursday at 6:30.
If you're coming from Indiana,
And then if you guys can show up and buy a book, and then all your fans can show up and meet you guys, and they can all buy a book, and it'll just work
It's a
out great.
long drive from Texas and Alabama. I
the
can
three
tell
of
you
us
that.
will be sitting next to Cassie, also signing her book.
all of our
Yeah, you can
fans
still
are in
sign
this
it.
room right now.
We'll be drawing pictures of ourselves in the book to,
Let's do a
Just-
live
just-
podcast while we're just watching her getting her book signed.
sign this. Did you
What's
have
the book
anything-
called?
It's called Teddy's Journey to the Clouds. It's-
Teddy's Journey to the Clouds.
Yes, it's.
What's it about?
Well, it's a sad story.
Yeah,
It's-
we've already
It's a
had like a
children's book, and
shitty
it's
episode
very
just
sad.
for the bad Futurama, and now we're gonna bring everybody down.
It's,
maybe-
it's about
maybe it should be a
dying. It's about
surprise.
dying. It's about
It's about coping.
Never
coping
met
with
anyone that wrote a
death.
book.
it's
Shut
about
up.
dealing with death, especially
And someone in this room cried when
at
they
a
read
very
it
young
for
age.
the first time. I'm just saying.
Before the book was even when
Wait,
she
was
just
that you?
before she
It
even
was.
sent it to the publisher.
What did I do?
This
What
has
have
gone
what have I
horribly
done?
wrong.
You wrote it every
This
night
is so
in your
depressing.
sleep.
I'm gonna
No,
fuck
so-
up some kids' lives with this thing.
You know, it's so I read it when it was
But
just
to be
the,
honest, hold on real quick. Teddy Horchie, that's a very thin veil.
Oh yeah.
Is he a former president of the United States? This Teddy?
No, he's a little too young.
no, so it's about a kid. It's really
Is
serious.
he a talking
I,
bear who knows Mark Wahlberg?
Don't, I
Well, I do
wouldn't
not write
give
about
anything
talking
away.
bears.
I mean, you know, it's a children's
wouldn't
book.
do
It's not
that.
very long, but
If I was going
I
to
read
read
it
the
when it
back
was
of the
the,
book, what would it say?
I read it when it was the just what you had on page or whatever, and it was very sad. And I was like, I remember you were like, "Did you cry?" And I'm like, "No." And then later, because that was after you had sent it to the publishers the first time, and they said they had cried or whatever, and people that you had sent it to check it out.
So
I just make
basically-
everybody
no.
cry.
Right, so
and
it's
And
just
then
like
later I
bring
admitted,
misery and
oh,
tears.
I was like,
Yeah.
I did. It's super. It's just something about it, and I know you said like it just kind of came to you to write this and write it the way you did, and you're really good at that. I was not
Well,
surprised at
thank
all.
you.
So
was it
Thanks.
written
It's
by a
nice.
ghost through you?
I don't think so.
Can you be sure?
I mean, I can't be sure.
Is it Teddy's autobiography?
I mean, it could be. Who knows?
Where can you find this book?
You can get it on Amazon.com. You can order it from Barnes and Nobles. There is no Borders anymore. Why did I
No,
say
Borders
Borders?
is a Nordstrom rack right across from the Barnes.
So
and
Borders-
They
Borders,
built
they
a
all went
bunch
out
of
of
walls around the
business.
borders.
I don't know if it was that funny, but
It
all
was
right.
funny.
I used to work at Borders. It was funny to me. That was a great
Borders.
job.
So, Amazon.
Wait, Pete,
Barnes
tell
and
us some
Noble.
interesting stories about working at the bookstore. Go ahead, Cassie.
Amazon, I said it again, Barnes and Noble. You can also get it from me if you're local. I can actually, if I know you well enough that I know you won't kill me, I will deliver a copy.
you could probably
30
like,
minutes. She will
Does-
write
wait,
it,
does
send it
your-
over to the illustrator. They'll
Does your
illustrate
publisher
it.
get mad if you sell copies direct? Like, can you put it up on your website and be like, "I'll sell you this shit. I'll put it in the mail." To
No,
your
I can do it, but
house."
I have to get it through the publishing company. So I can order some.
So you're selling it
personally.
at shelf price to people,
Yes.
because we've all been in bands and are in bands where when you
I definitely don't get shelf price. I personally don't get the cost of the book.
At
Yeah.
what
Of the
point
shelf
does this
price.
become a money making operation?
Well, I need to sell a lot, so
Have you ever
When it
thought
gets
about
that Oprah
advertising on a podcast?
Club.
you know I
on it,
haven't.
right?
That's a great idea.
Well, I'll give you a rate card when we wrap up.
All right.
It's are you going to make it a series of things? Like, because
Well-
that's where the real money is.
let me put it this way, it's about death, so no.
Well, what if
It's that
Just-
thing
I-
that's
I
final.
I'm just putting it out there. You tie into the Buddhist or Hindu market and get into reincarnation.
Well, the way that it's written, it can actually be interpreted by
See,
any different religion or
Yeah.
someone who's not
It's- it-
religious.
you always leave some room at the end,
Yeah.
a little ambiguity, because you never know when Vin Diesel is going to come back around and make another XXX movie.
Who's going to end up doing the audiobook?
Probably I'm gonna, have your podcast
Who do you
audience vote
think?
for
Oh,
one of
wait.
you.
Who do you think will be doing
Stephen
the
Hawking.
audiobook?
Get Stephen Hawking to do it.
Well, I was thinking one of you guys.
No,
No.
I want to do it.
Do you remember when you lost your voice and you sounded like Michael Cera?
Yeah, I didn't know you remember that. That was when we first started dating.
It was
I couldn't
creepy.
see you for a little. Tom, do you remember that? And I
I
came down
do
with the sock
remember that.
puppet. and
Why
was
did
talking.
you sound like Michael Cera?
That's what he sounds
got
like when he loses his voice.
The worst, whatever it was. I don't know. My neck, like the glands, like swelled up really bad. I kept going to the doctors, and they kept saying like, "We can't do anything. You don't have." And I ended up taking expired antibiotics that someone in my family had laying around, and then
From the
for the
dog?
first half, and then took Tom's expired antibiotics until it went away because I went to medic.
Good thing all of that healthcare problems just got
The
fixed.
funny
yeah.
thing is they were antibiotics.
So you
None of
didn't
those
die.
doctors would give you antibiotics.
I sounded like Ray Romano.
No, right now you sound like that sounds like Kermit.
Who?
Yeah, he does
He
sound like
sounds
yeah,
like
you're
Ray
right. You're
Romano.
right. Wait, do it again.
No, please don't
No, do
do
it. Do it.
What's Ray Romano's wife's
Do you
name?
remember when I watched every single episode
Yeah.
of Everyone Loves Raymond?
Yeah,
Well,
that's a good
I
show.
did, I did this. I went on a binge of Everyone
What's
Loves Raymond.
What's his fucking wife's name?
Oh shit, I don't know.
Oh,
I mean,
fuck,
it's Patricia Heaton.
Yeah,
Who's
what's-
a Cleveland hometown hero.
Wait, Deborah.
Deborah. Raymond.
What about Raymond's mother? Can you do that? Can you give us a little Doris
Didn't she
Roberts?
die?
Yeah.
No, it was the dad. the
Probably.
grandpa.
They're both dead.
She died.
They're both Peter
know that.
O'Boyle.
Well,
Is
he's
that
been
Peter
dead.
Boyle.
But I didn't think she
Peter
died.
Boyle.
Peter Boyle. He died a while. She died like 2 years ago. We
Aw.
I
You're
think
gonna have
we were
the
living
best
together when it
time
happened.
editing
No,
this
it was when
episode, Tom.
he died when we
She
were
was
living
George
together.
Costanza's mom.
Well, then I texted you when she died.
Was she?
I
Was
don't
she
think you did.
both?
No, she wasn't George Costanza's mom.
I didn't think so.
No, she was.
No, it wasn't her.
I'm making it up.
And, which brings us to making it up with Tommy Roulette.
You guys lost.
Did you know that one charcoal briquette has as much vitamin C as 5 lemons? It's true.
Just ask my pal Sal, and then this puppet comes out and says Sodite.
Amazon. You can find the book and Barnes and Noble.
Yes, come to Barnes & Noble. April 6th, 6:30.
Anywhere fine.
What are you gonna do if any kids come up
Things.
and they're crying?
I'm going to give them a hug.
Okay.
And it's
Got
going to
worried
be a
about that.
prize giveaway.
And then are you
too.
going to whisper into their ear, it's all true?
It's going to happen to you one day.
We can be reached at slurmcastpod@gmail.com. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter and Instagram at slurmcastpod. We're at slurmcast.com.
216-438-1077. John Kalman, of course, you know that because you always text us. And eventually we'll talk about it and read it and everything.
Everybody Loves Hypnotoad was filmed thousands of miles below a live studio audience. On the count of 50, you will awaken feeling refreshed and remembering nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14. I'm sorry, I'll have to start again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.